Max, back in 1986, it was 31 years ago, the 1986 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football came out, and there was a familiar face on the cover. It was Jackie Sherrill, the making of an Aggie, the new head coach then, or not new head coach, but the head coach of the Texas A&M Aggies. And 31 years later, we finally booked him on our show. We are joined by Coach Jackie Sherrill. Coach, how are you?
Doing great, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a while since we've seen you on the sidelines. We know we miss you there on the sidelines. For you, what do you miss most about coaching?
You miss the players.
Yeah.
That's basically why, coaches, and certainly years ago, today, the coaches are making a lot more than the average person, but there's no question that you go all the way back to Coach Roll, or if you go back to Coach Stallings, or you go back to Coach Bryan, or even back to Coach Landry, you coach because of the players.
Absolutely. And, one of the coaches that you learned under was not only as a player, but where you got your start in coaching was Bear Bryant there at Alabama. How did playing under Coach Bryan and then learning under him, how did that prepare you to become the coach that you were during your lengthy tenure in college football?
Well, Coach Bryan always, and I was a football coach and thought I was really a good one until I really understood that you have to give players more than X's and O's, and that's what Coach Bryan did. He gave us more than X's and O's, and he prepared us for life. And I've always said to the young coaches, your job as a coach is not to get your player to like you. Your job as a coach is to prepare that young man for life. And if you do that and you discipline him and you practice him hard and you put him in the right position, and then you get out of the way and let him perform. And that's what Coach Bryan did. Coach, put the players in the right positions.
And now you mentioned young coaches when you talk to young coaches. Which college coaches today that are coaching college football are you? Do you admire that you really respect what they're doing out there?
Well, you have to look at Nick Saban and Bob Stoops, and I put those two guys because I've watched them practice. I've followed their careers, and quite frankly, as a coach, you have to be able to make your players do things they don't want to do, and you have to help them accomplish things they never thought they could. And Nick and Bob certainly are outstanding disciplinarians, but they also do the other things that helps their players.
We know you most here in the Lone Star State for your time at Texas A&M as the coach of the Aggies, leading them to 3 straight Southwest Conference championships from 1985 to 1987. And, one of the things that we miss about the Southwest Conference and now about college football today is I feel like we're losing some of the rivalries. And, of course, one of the great rivalries in not just in the state but in the nation, Texas and Texas A&M has gone dormant. I'm interested in hearing from you. Do you feel like A&M and Texas should revive their rivalry?
Absolutely. Not only the state deserves for the two institutions to play, but the nation deserves that. And there's no question that game would be a primetime game. Mm-hmm. In that game, wherever you played it, you could play it out in a parking lot. And it would not be big enough for the people that want to watch it.
I think you're exactly right. You're preaching to the choir here. Speaking of A&M, we're getting ready for the 2017 college football season already. What do you think of Texas A&M's chances? What do you how are you feeling about the Aggies?
Well, I think Kevin's done a good job, and certainly the coaches in recruiting the last 2 years. They have a lot of young players. But the question is, who's the quarterback? The man under center. Well, most of them don't go under center now. But, who is the quarterback? And, A&M will start a probably a fresh body there. And the experience of quarterbacking is so important. But, the schedule that they have opening up in LA with UCLA, and then you add Florida from the east with all the teams in the west.
Mm-hmm.
So A&M's schedule this year is not very conducive to a young team. And honestly, if they're able to survive it and have 8, 9 wins, then I think that they have done a great job.
We're talking with Jackie Sherrill here on DCTF Live. Get involved in the conversation at hashtag DCTF Live. And Coach, we mentioned that you were on the cover of the 1986 edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and we're preparing our 50th annual summer edition. Now, I'm interested in hearing from you. I know Dave Campbell will probably hear this. What does the name Dave Campbell mean to you as a guy who's been on the cover?
Texas football.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of Texas football, the first name that comes is Dave Campbell,
mm-hmm.
because every summer, it doesn't matter if you were following high school football, college football, you wanted and couldn't wait to get a copy of Texas football. And there's no question that he's had a great effect in helping young people and coaches become very successful in his magazine.
Now, we know that you have a big golf tournament coming up, and so I want to know, what would Jackie Sherrill, the coach, say about Jackie Sherrill, the golfer? I'm interested in, are you going to get out there and what's your handicap?
Well, at one time I was not bad, but I would say today I would just be like the other normal average golfer.
Hey, I'll take average. At this point,
That's
I
better
would
than me.
Yeah, I would take. I would certainly take average.
Yeah, I used to have the opportunity to play with a lot of great players, golfers, and I'm still waiting on some of them to pay their debts to me. But
that tends to be the way that goes. Yeah. I hate to break it to you, Coach. You're never seeing that money.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, and I like most golfers. All they care about is how far you can hit it, and really not what your score is. And if you can hit it 300 plus or 300 off the tee, then you walk down with your chest stuck out.
The event, your golf tournament, is coming up on Monday, May 1st. Would you mind telling us a little bit more about it and how you got involved with this?
Well, when they approached me, and two guys, Barry Stevens, which played for me at A&M, he was on the original 12-man kickoff team, and then Mike Howell, which ran track at Texas A&M. They both are FBI agents, special agents, and they're in the Dallas office. And they approached me to if I would help them do a golf tournament, and I said sure. And the money goes to the falling FBIs for their kids to go to college. And sure enough, the first young man that received a scholarship was Michael Fink, and he went to Texas A&M, was in the Corps. And then, Scottish Rite Children's Hospital, we've been able to give over 300 to each entity since it started. And it's really a great event. We get Roger Staubach, Tony Dorsett, Randy White, D.D. Lewis, Too Tall Jones, and a lot of others that come out to play and to come out and support the golf tournament.
It's the G-Man Jackie Sherrill Shootout going on May 1st, and Coach, you mentioned that there's a lot of star power out there, but you are benefiting three really important and charities. What do those three charities mean to you?
Well, when you look at and understand the FBI, and I got to really get involved, meaning to learn a lot more about it because of Barry and Mike and what they do every day and the time that they spend for security. And, right now, the FBI, their number one mission is, stopping any terrorist threat. And they have done a great job. And then you look at the Scottish Rite Children's Hospital, and all of us understand that what that means. And I remember the first time we took our team to the hospital, I didn't require the players to get on the bus. I just said, we're going to the hospital. I just wanted to see who would get on the bus. And it was amazing. It taught me a lot right then. The meanest, the nastiest, the toughest players were the first on the bus. And they also were the best in the hospital with the kids. So, the impression that you would have watching a kid on the field was completely different than what that person was off the field, especially with handicapped kids and kids in need. And then with the 12th Man Kickoff Team Foundation, we give scholarships to Texas A&M students, and we're in the midst of raising money to add another one, and that scholarship would be to the Corps. And so we'll end up with 5 scholarships at this time for kids going to Texas A&M.
It's certainly a great cause, the G-Man Jackie Sherrill Shootout coming up on Monday, May 1st. Coach, how can people support the event? How can people get involved?
Well, you can either participate, you can come and play, or you can participate in the auction. And, the number to call is 214-559-7656. And they have some great live auction items. And matter of fact, they have a treasured 38 special that was there were only 1,900 made years ago, and it's so hard to find one. And it has the serial number certainly, and has the agent's name that actually used the gun. But it's in the box of collector items. Then there also is 4 tickets for metal concert tickets on Roger Staubach Suite. And there will be 4 tickets for a Texas A&M game, including hotel and including sideline passes pregame. So there's a lot of live auction, and you actually, if you go on Facebook during this time at 2:30, you'd be able to bid and see the bidding on the live auction items.
It's pretty remarkable. It's the G-Man Jackie Sherrill Shootout going on Monday, May 1st at the Stonebridge Ranch Country Club in McKinney. Coach, we appreciate your time, and it's always great to hear from you, and best of luck with the event on Monday.
Thank you very much.